What's good, everyone? When I upload this video, it's gonna be Thanksgiving, so I'm recording this the day before. I'll be flying out to see family, so if y'all are traveling out there for this week, y'all be safe. And in other words, even if you aren't, happy Thanksgiving. So to give thanks. Oh, am I giving thanks? I don't know. Anyways, as I was saying, before Thanksgiving starts and the rest of the holiday week is officially beginning, I wanted to give you guys part 2 to how to deal with Hwoarang. Alright, oops. There you go. You guys can still see my face. We're gonna go with part 2 here. So basically, if you guys remember from part 1, we pretty much did a no round brown. We waited and we were just patient and we kind of just observed how this Hwoarang was playing, and pretty much it was what you would expect from a Hwoarang player. So not that Hwoarang players are bad, but it's too common to see a Hwoarang player play this kind of way. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go into this second battle here, and what we're gonna try to see is if this Hwoarang adapted, if this Hwoarang changed his playstyle to accommodate my patience, right, and my whiff punishment. So that's what we're gonna go ahead and see. Of course, I still won, so it could be some adjustment there. I don't remember as far as as why I won, if it was his mistake. He only got 1 round on me, so we'll see how conquering that round was, right? So again, we're gonna get the Hwoarang here with the weird haircut. My boy Hwoarang. Let's turn this off. We don't need to necessarily see that right now. Alright, first round of the second match. You see how now he backed up now? So I was like, okay, alright. I wanted to do a magic 4 just to see, but he backed up. But what did he do? He just do a jab. So I think in other circumstances we could have definitely gotten back 3 there, but we didn't, so that's good. And it's gonna go back to what it was. Again, that Armor King's back 1-2 is just so good. I know I said that in the last video, but he's like 32 damage now or something like that. Yeah, so it's always good to adjust to your opponent's playstyle too, because normally when you win a match, I would always try to say, don't keep it the same, right? Keep it fresh. Always keep it fresh. And in this case, we noticed that the Hwoarang instantly noticed, right? If we go back to here, we started off in the starting position, right? The main position right here when you first start around. Immediately, right? We're noticed some sort of like rotation, right? Axis rotation from Hwoarang. So to me, I'm like, is he trying to do moves? Because Hwoarang has access to a lot of moves that allow you to evade, right? They're very evasive moves that sometimes actually switch the axis. So immediately, I was already thinking of one move I had in mind with Armor King, and that's his forward 4-3, which is his homing move. So it's always good to remember your tools that you have with your character that can deal with a given situation. If you don't know how to deal with a certain situation, if you don't know how to deal with people sidestepping you, sidewalking you, if you don't know how to deal with a certain pressure, right? Not just specific pressure, just any pressure. You do need to go back to the lab, and I would say replay that. Go to the lab, go to my replays, look at the button inputs, do the same thing that your opponent was doing, right? And then learn how to deal with that. So in this case, I'm already accustomed to that, right? I already know that if somebody's gonna try something with me, I'm not gonna let it slide, right? Especially this case, right? So we go ahead, catch him sidestepping. We don't finish the combo, we go for Oki, extra damage, counter hit. I dropped the combo. That's okay, back 1 for the... That back 1 is like so visceral on hit. If you just leave it by itself. I think that was a misinput. So, I want y'all to really get this ingrained in your head as soon as the camera focuses. Ingrain this in your head. Please, whenever you fight a Hwoarang, please remember this. Because if you don't keep this in your head, you're gonna get abused by this move. Just abused. So not here. when his back is facing you, or in this case, when his, I guess if you're on the right side, if his torso is facing you, I would think, right? As soon as it gets to that stance, basically, right here, when his back is basically turning you, his that whiplash move, I don't know if it's exactly called, I think it's called whiplash, I don't know. That move is a high, it is a safe high power crush launcher, but the only way that can actually come out is if he's in that stance. So low level Hwoarang players will always try to resort to this because they will always try to bait you with, oh, there's so much space in between me, my opponent's going to try to go ahead and go for a ranged move, right? So in this case, you see, that's actually the perfect distance. That's a great distance for my Armor King, but I didn't fall into that trap. So I try to go for a forward 2 just to be safe, but he actually blocks it. I was a little bit too far away to actually recognize he was going to go for that. But still, either way, we didn't get caught. That's what's important. It doesn't matter if you get the whiff punishment or not. You didn't get caught, because if you get caught, that's like 1 billion damage. And a good conversion. Alright, so here's what do we do here, right? You have your opponent, you have your character, and there's a Hwoarang against you, and your back is against the wall. What do you do in this situation? Block. Block. Wait until you have to go through enough Hwoarang matches to actually remember, like, oh, okay, after this move, when he's in his flamingo stance, I think I have a moment to attack and turn the tide in my favor. So, and this is the first time I actually will be seeing frame advantage with Hwoarang. So we're going to be learning together. Alright. Alright, so when those quick kicks and jabs come in, safe, don't tag. I didn't know that was minus 14. Wow. Okay, so that's minus 14. I can actually punish that. That's good to know. So remember, minus 14. Big punish. Don't let him get away with that. But in this case, I didn't know at the time. So what did I do? I just kept blocking, playing defense. I'm not trying to get counter hit it and go off the balcony. Right? Not doing that. Sorry. See, and we're trying to build momentum with those jabs, right? But he's blocking, right? It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Tried it, but he throws kicks, and Armor King can only counter arms. Nothing you could do. I mean, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. We're trying to catch him in the range, trying to catch him to approach. We're trying to play his game, right? Because I'm sick of it. That Armor King's forward, what is it, forward 3-4-3? That's such an underrated move in my opinion. I don't really see a lot of people doing it. And I think it's because of the fact that Armor King's forward 3-4-3, if it's blocked, it doesn't really leave you at an advantage. And it also ends in a high. So like, you don't really want to use that in the neutral. But the only reason why I used it anyway is because if you look at forward 3, you get a little visual indicator, right? So we do the jab for momentum. We backed away to create our range, right? We want to create our space. Hwoarang doesn't do good with range. He doesn't. And then immediately, I throw a forward 3, and that little bright red spark there, that is your cue that you can finish the whole string. Look at that. That's a good quarter of a damage. Sometimes people will try to look for that damage off of a combo. Armor King got that off of a string. Throw it again. The no mix-up, mix-up. It's great. It works. Alright. Take off the player frame info so we can go ahead and kind of see everything. I didn't know that, by the way. That was the first time I actually saw that counter hit, so I don't know if that was new. We have our back against the wall. This setup right here, this is a setup. Don't fall for this. That. I believe he can get grabs out of this. Any Hwoarang players, please correct me if I'm wrong, or please educate me as to what other options he can do out of this, because I don't know. But it's still good practice to just back away. Don't be oppressive. Just because his back is against you doesn't mean that he's vulnerable. Don't, the seat... I smelled his feet. His feet stank. That's how close I was. Just patience. Look at that. And then look, giant swing. If you're a king player, armor king player, please use that giant swing. Please use it. Back against the wall again. But the beauty about Armor King's giant swing is that when you break it, it actually still turns the opponent around. So even if you do get your giant swing broken, it still puts your opponent against the wall. And normally against Hwoarang, I would rather have Hwoarang against the wall than me, right? Throwing out those random counters. Get that out of here. Ooh. We didn't have to, but we didn't have to, but y'all know what happens there. Anyways, to kind of reflect on what just happened there. About even. Hwoarang has more health than me. I would say it's a slight life lead, it looks like. He goes for the orbital. Because I would imagine, I feel like he thought I was going to go for a forward 4 and neutral 3. But you have to remember, like, not only do you have to realize the move that you want to use, you have to also know, like, does it make sense to use this move in this situation, right? So, let's say I did use forward 4, neutral 3, right? I get a counter hit. Cool, I get a counter hit. For what? For what? Look what's behind him. A wall. I have no distance to travel to gain combo damage. The most I'm going to get is a wall combo, which... Armor King wall combo, it's great, it's damaging, but it just leaves him in a weird 50-50. And I always have, like, I can only get like a while standing 4. Still wasn't enough to pretty turn the tide in my favor, and it probably would have left him in rage. And I don't want a Hwoarang in range. I really don't. So he misses the orbital. Go into forward 4. I love that move. It's a brutal move. Magic 4 to kind of put him back against the wall. The closer you are to the wall, I believe you could just do a standing 4. Standing 4 is a good... what is it? A good filler to get him back to the wall, right? If you're that close. Pick him up. He doesn't know the break. And I bet you he wasn't expecting another grab. And then... 3-1. Anyways, that is a part to the Hwoarang. I will post a third part to this. I do have another match with Hwoarang with me facing up against him, and I believe I want to say 3-0'd him again. I want to say I did that. No, it was another 1-3. But anyways, y'all stay tuned for that. That one will probably be coming out after, let's say maybe next week or so. So anyways, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Y'all have a really great holidays this month. And more videos will be posted up soon. But y'all take care.